Are you making the 5 deadly mistakes that send thousands of older adults to the emergency room every summer? These mistakes are so common that even careful people like you probably don't know they're putting their lives at risk right now. In the next 15 minutes, you'll learn 5 doctor-approved heat wave survival tips that emergency room doctors use to protect their own elderly parents. Tip number 3 is so powerful that it can stop heat stroke in under 60 seconds. This is something most people find out too late. Last summer, 78-year-old Vivian from Phoenix thought she was being careful during a heat wave by staying indoors. She made one serious mistake that sent her to the emergency room with dangerous lack of water in her body. What she didn't know could have killed her, and it's happening to thousands of older adults right now. The first heat wave survival tip is the cool zone plan that most doctors never talk about. Your home has hidden cool areas that can drop your body heat by 10 degrees right away. Yet most older adults never find these life-saving areas until it's too late. These zones exist in every home, but knowing where to find them and how to use them the right way makes the difference between being comfortable and having an emergency during dangerous heat waves. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that certain areas of your home stay naturally cooler. This happens because of things like how well they're insulated, how air moves around, and how much sun they get during the day. Understanding these cooling ideas can turn your home into a personal safe place during very hot weather. This gives you quick relief when temperatures go way beyond safe levels. The secret to finding your cool zones is understanding how heat moves through your living space during different times of day. Rooms facing north usually stay cooler because they get less direct sunlight. Rooms with many windows on opposite walls create better airflow patterns that help with natural cooling. Basement areas naturally stay at lower temperatures because of ground insulation. Rooms with tile or concrete floors soak up less heat than carpeted areas. Even bathrooms can work as good cool zones because they often have fans that pull air out and smaller spaces that cool down faster with the right airflow methods. The science behind these cooling patterns uses heat transfer ideas that work the same way no matter how old your home is or how it was built. Professional weather experts suggest making a cooling map of your home. You do this by checking temperatures in different rooms throughout the hottest day of the year. This mapping process shows which areas keep the most comfortable temperatures during peak heat hours. These are typically between 10 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening. The most helpful cool zones often combine several cooling factors. These include northern exposure, good airflow, and hard floor surfaces that don't hold on to heat. Many older adults find that their laundry rooms work great as cooling safe places during heat emergencies. This is because they have concrete floors and get very little sun. Understanding your home's natural cooling patterns lets you plan ahead and prepare these spaces with important supplies. You'll want water, comfortable seating, and entertainment options for long stays during dangerous heat periods. 72-year-old Harold from Arizona found this method by accident when his air conditioning broke during a record-breaking heat wave last July. He moved to his north-facing bedroom and noticed the temperature difference right away. By closing curtains during peak sun hours and opening windows during cooler evening periods, he created a comfortable space without any machine cooling systems. His preparation and quick thinking stopped what could have become a dangerous heat emergency that would need medical help. Without knowing these zones, you risk getting too hot even indoors. This can lead to heat tiredness or heat stroke within hours of being exposed. Many older adults think that being inside automatically protects them from heat-related sickness. But indoor temperatures can reach dangerous levels quickly when cooling systems break or when energy costs force people to limit air conditioning use. The simple act of finding and preparing your cool zones today can give you quick relief during the next heat emergency. Don't wait until the heat wave hits to find your home's cooling potential. Preparation today could save your life tomorrow. The second heat wave survival tip is the drinking schedule that emergency rooms use. When should you drink water during a heat wave? Most older adults get this dangerously wrong. They drink too much at once or wait until they feel thirsty. Both of these can create serious health problems that need immediate medical attention. Emergency room rules developed by the Mayo Clinic suggest specific drinking timing. This keeps the best fluid balance throughout dangerous heat exposure periods. This planned approach stops both lack of water in the body and the equally dangerous condition called hyponatremia. This happens when blood sodium levels drop too low from drinking too much water. Medical professionals have improved this drinking schedule through decades of treating heat-related emergencies. This makes it one of the most reliable prevention methods available to older adults. The emergency room drinking schedule works because it keeps steady fluid levels. It doesn't create the dangerous ups and downs that happen with irregular drinking patterns. Medical professionals suggest drinking 4 ounces of water every 15 minutes during heat warnings. This equals 1 cup per hour throughout the day. This schedule lets your kidneys process fluids well while keeping proper salt balance. It stops the dizziness and confusion that can come with both lack of water and too much water. The timing is very important because your body can only take in about 8 ounces of fluid per hour under normal conditions. Heat stress can make this rate even lower. Emergency doctors stress that this schedule must begin before you feel thirsty. Thirst means a late-stage warning sign that lack of water has already begun affecting your body's cooling systems. Understanding why this schedule works needs knowledge of how your body processes fluids during heat stress. When temperatures rise, your body increases blood flow to the skin surface to help cooling through sweating. This needs good fluid levels to keep proper blood flow. Lack of water reduces blood volume. This forces your heart to work harder to keep blood flowing while also trying to cool your body through sweating. The 15-minute gap stops overwhelming your kidneys with large fluid amounts. At the same time, it makes sure you have steady hydration throughout dangerous heat exposure periods. This approach also helps keep proper salt balance. Steady fluid intake lets your body adjust sodium and potassium levels slowly. This is better than having sudden dilution from large water drinking. Professional athletes and military people use similar drinking rules during very hot training. This shows how well this approach works for keeping peak physical performance under heat stress. The key difference for older adults is recognizing that age-related changes in kidney function and medication effects may need slight changes to this basic schedule. Some older adults may need to drink slightly smaller amounts more often. Others may need to add light salt replacement if they're taking medications that affect fluid balance. The important idea stays the same: small, frequent fluid intake throughout heat exposure periods. This is better than large, infrequent drinking that can overwhelm your body's processing ability. 81-year-old Carmen from Nevada learned this lesson during a family barbecue when temperatures reached 108 degrees. She drank 3 large glasses of water within 30 minutes, thinking she was being extra careful about hydration. Instead, she became dizzy and sick to her stomach from diluted blood sodium levels. Her daughter, a registered nurse, recognized the symptoms and helped Carmen return to proper hydration balance using the 15-minute schedule. This experience taught the entire family about proper heat wave hydration methods that they now use during all outdoor activities. Wrong hydration timing can cause dangerous salt imbalance. This leads to symptoms that look like heat stroke, including confusion, weakness, and irregular heartbeat. Many older adults end up in emergency rooms because they either avoided drinking enough fluids or drank too much water too quickly during heat exposure. Both situations can become life-threatening within hours, especially for people taking medications that affect fluid balance or kidney function. Setting phone reminders for 4 ounces of water every 15 minutes during heat warnings removes guesswork. It gives steady protection throughout dangerous heat periods. Start this schedule right away because lack of water begins affecting your body's cooling ability within the first hour of heat exposure. Recovery becomes harder and harder as dehydration gets worse. The third heat wave survival tip is the 60-second heat stroke prevention method. This simple method can stop heat stroke in under 1 minute. Yet most people never learn it until they're facing a medical emergency in the hospital. The method uses applying cool wet towels to specific pulse points on your body. These are places where blood vessels run close to the skin surface. This allows rapid cooling of your core body temperature through direct heat exchange. Johns Hopkins emergency medicine research shows that targeting these pulse points can lower body temperature by 3 to 5 degrees within 60 seconds. This often stops the progression from heat tiredness to life-threatening heat stroke. This method represents one of the most helpful rapid cooling methods available outside of medical facilities. It gives immediate relief when every second counts during a heat emergency. The method works because pulse points are locations where major arteries carry blood close to the skin surface. This makes them perfect for rapid heat exchange with very little tissue barriers. The most helpful pulse points for cooling include both wrists, where the radial artery runs close to the surface. Also the neck area just below the ears, where the carotid artery gives major blood flow to the brain. Both temples, where temporal arteries supply blood to the head. And the inside of both ankles, where you can feel your pulse through the posterior tibial artery. Applying cool wet towels to these areas at the same time creates maximum cooling effect. The cooled blood moves throughout your body within one complete heart cycle. This is typically 60 to 70 seconds for most adults. Water temperature should be cool, but not ice cold. Very cold temperatures can cause blood vessels to tighten and reduce the cooling effect you're trying to achieve. Medical professionals suggest using towels soaked in water between 60 and 70 degrees F for best cooling without causing blood vessel tightening that can reduce blood flow. The towel should be wrung out enough to stop dripping, but stay completely wet to get the most heat transfer through evaporation and conduction. Emergency room doctors often use this method as an immediate action while preparing more advanced cooling methods. This shows how well it works in medical settings. The key to success is applying the towels firmly against the pulse points. This makes sure there's good contact between the cooling surface and the blood vessels beneath the skin. Replacing the towels every 2 to 3 minutes keeps the cooling effect as they warm up from body heat transfer. Understanding the body science behind this method helps explain why it works so well for heat stroke prevention. When your body temperature rises above normal levels, your heart and blood system works harder to pump blood to the skin surface for cooling through sweating. However, when outside temperatures go beyond your body's cooling ability, this natural process becomes overwhelmed. Your core temperature begins to rise dangerously. Cooling the blood directly at pulse points bypasses this overwhelmed system. It reduces the temperature of blood before it moves to vital organs, including your brain, heart, and kidneys. This direct cooling approach can buy precious time to seek air conditioning or medical attention. It stops the organ damage that happens when core body temperature goes beyond safe levels. 69-year-old Frank from Texas used this method when he started feeling dizzy and sick to his stomach while working in his garage during a heat advisory. He applied wet towels to his wrists and neck. Within 2 minutes, his symptoms began to get better. The rapid cooling stopped what could have become a dangerous heat stroke episode that would have needed emergency medical treatment. Frank now keeps a cooler with wet towels in his garage during summer months. He's prepared to use this life-saving method whenever he feels overheated. Without this knowledge, heat stroke can happen within minutes once your body's cooling system becomes overwhelmed by too much heat exposure. Heat stroke represents a medical emergency where your body temperature rises above 104 degrees. This can potentially cause permanent organ damage, brain injury, or death within hours of onset. The progression from heat tiredness to heat stroke can happen rapidly. This is especially true for older adults whose bodies may not control temperature as well as younger adults. This is due to age-related changes in blood flow and sweating systems. Keep wet towels ready in your refrigerator during heat warnings. Apply them to wrists, neck, and temples at the first sign of overheating. This includes too much sweating, dizziness, or feeling sick to your stomach. Master this method now because heat stroke gives no second chances. It can become permanent within minutes of onset. This makes immediate cooling action absolutely critical for survival. The fourth heat wave survival tip is the clothing code that blocks dangerous heat. The wrong clothing during a heat wave can raise your body temperature to deadly levels. This turns your clothes from protection into a dangerous heat trap that stops your body's natural cooling systems from working well. Most older adults choose clothing based on style or comfort without understanding how fabric choice, color, and fit directly affect their body's ability to control temperature during very hot weather. Research done by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows that proper clothing selection can reduce heat stress by up to 40%. Poor choices can speed up heat tiredness and increase the risk of heat-related medical emergencies. Understanding the science behind heat-safe clothing can literally mean the difference between comfortable outdoor activities and dangerous overheating during summer heat waves. The science behind heat-safe clothing uses understanding how different fabrics interact with your body's cooling system through sweating and airflow. Natural fibers like cotton and linen allow moisture to evaporate well because their loose weave structure lets air flow and moisture transfer away from your skin's surface. Man-made materials like polyester and nylon trap heat and stop evaporation. This creates a greenhouse effect against your skin that can raise your body temperature by several degrees within minutes of sun exposure. Light-colored clothing reflects heat away from your body. White and light colors reflect up to 80% of solar radiation. Dark colors absorb heat and transfer it directly to your skin throughout the day. Loose-fitting clothes allow airflow around your body. This helps evaporation and cooling. Tight clothing restricts airflow and traps heated air close to your skin surface. Professional outdoor workers in hot climates have developed specific clothing rules that get the most cooling while providing necessary protection from sun exposure. These rules stress long-sleeve shirts and pants made from lightweight, light-colored natural fibers. These provide sun protection while allowing maximum airflow and moisture evaporation. The clothing should fit loosely enough to allow air movement, but not so loose that it flaps and creates unnecessary heat through friction. Many professional heat safety programs suggest clothing with air panels or mesh inserts. These improve airflow without compromising sun protection. Understanding these professional standards can help older adults make better clothing choices for heatwave safety. The timing of clothing changes throughout the day can also affect your body's ability to manage heat stress well. Changing into fresh, dry clothing when your current clothes become soaked with sweat helps restore your body's evaporative cooling ability. Wet clothing against your skin can actually increase heat stress by stopping evaporation while adding the burden of carrying extra weight and moisture. Many heat safety experts suggest keeping a change of light, dry clothing available during heat waves. This lets you refresh your cooling ability when needed. This simple plan can extend your ability to function safely during long heat exposure while reducing the risk of heat-related illness. 75-year-old Dolores from Phoenix made this mistake during her morning walk when she wore a dark blue polyester shirt on a day when temperatures reached 112 degrees. Within 20 minutes, she felt overheated and had to cut her walk short. She experienced dizziness and too much sweating that concerned her enough to seek medical attention. The next day, she wore a loose, light-colored cotton shirt and completed her full routine comfortably despite similar temperatures. This experience taught her the critical importance of proper clothing selection during very hot weather. She now helps other older adults in her community understand these life-saving principles. Wrong clothing choices can speed up heat tiredness by stopping your body's natural cooling process. This leads to rapid increases in core body temperature that can become dangerous within 30 minutes of sun exposure. When your clothing traps heat and moisture against your skin, your body must work harder to keep safe temperature levels. This puts additional stress on your heart and blood system and increases the risk of heat-related illness. This is particularly dangerous for older adults who may have underlying health conditions that affect their body's ability to control temperature well. This includes diabetes, heart disease, or medications that affect sweating and blood flow. Wear only light-colored, loose natural fabrics during heat warnings. Change immediately if your clothing becomes soaked with sweat. Change your clothes now because this simple switch could stop heat tiredness and save your life during the next heat emergency. The fifth heat wave survival tip is the early warning system your body uses. Your body sends 3 critical warning signals before dangerous overheating begins. But most older adults either ignore these signs or mistake them for normal aging symptoms. This misses the opportunity to stop heat-related medical emergencies. These warning signals represent your body's last effort to alert you before your internal temperature control system becomes overwhelmed by too much heat exposure. The American College of Emergency Physicians has identified these specific warning signs based on thousands of heat-related emergency room visits. They note that people who recognize and respond to early warning signals have significantly better outcomes than those who wait until symptoms become severe. Understanding and responding to these warning signs can stop 90% of heat-related hospital stays among older adults. This makes this knowledge absolutely critical for summer safety. The first warning signal involves changes in your sweating pattern. Either too much sweating that soaks your clothing or suddenly stopping sweating when you should be sweating during heat exposure. Normal sweating helps control your body temperature through evaporation. But when this system becomes overwhelmed, it either works overtime or shuts down completely. Both of these indicate dangerous heat stress. Too much sweating can lead to rapid water loss and salt imbalance. Absent sweating during heat exposure indicates that your body's cooling system has failed and heat stroke may be about to happen. The second warning signal includes brain symptoms like dizziness, lightheadedness, confusion, or difficulty concentrating. These happen when heat stress begins affecting your brain's normal function. These symptoms indicate that your body temperature is rising beyond safe levels and affecting your central nervous system. This requires immediate cooling action. The third critical warning involves stomach symptoms, including feeling sick, throwing up, or loss of appetite. These happen when heat stress starts affecting your digestive system and overall body chemistry. These symptoms often come with the early stages of heat tiredness and indicate that your body is beginning to shut down non-essential functions to save energy for temperature control. Medical professionals stress that these warning signs often appear together rather than individually. Most heat-related emergencies involve two or more warning signals happening at the same time. The key to survival lies in recognizing any of these warning signs as serious indicators requiring immediate action. Don't think of them as symptoms to endure or ignore. Emergency room doctors report that older adults who respond to early warning signs within the first 15 minutes of symptom onset have significantly better outcomes. This is compared to those who delay seeking cooling and medical attention. The window for effective action closes rapidly once these warning signs appear. Heat stroke can potentially develop within 30 minutes if proper cooling measures aren't put in place immediately. Many older adults delay seeking help because they don't want to bother others or they believe the symptoms will resolve on their own. But this delay can prove fatal during very hot weather. Understanding that these warning signs represent medical emergencies requiring immediate cooling action can save your life during the next heat wave. Professional heat safety rules used by military and industrial organizations stress the buddy system for recognizing warning signs. Heat stress can impair judgment and stop people from recognizing their own symptoms. Older adults living alone should establish regular check-in systems with family members or neighbors during heat waves. This provides external observation of potential warning signs. This system becomes particularly important because heat stress can cause confusion and poor decision-making that stop people from seeking help when they need it most. Having a predetermined cooling plan that activates automatically when warning signs appear removes the need for complex decision-making during a medical emergency. 74-year-old Russell from Las Vegas ignored early warning signs during a golf game when he started feeling dizzy and sick to his stomach on the 7th hole. He continued playing for 2 more holes before collapsing from heat tiredness. This required emergency medical treatment and hospital stay. Emergency responders said recognizing those early symptoms and seeking immediate cooling could have stopped his hospital stay in the 3 days of recovery that followed. Russell now uses these warning signs as automatic triggers to seek air conditioning and begin cooling rules. This has stopped any recurrence of heat-related illness during subsequent summer activities. Ignoring these signals can lead to life-threatening heat stroke, where your body temperature rises above 104 degrees and begins causing permanent damage to vital organs. This includes your brain, heart, and kidneys. Heat stroke represents a medical emergency with a death rate of up to 30%, even with immediate medical treatment. This makes early recognition and response absolutely critical for survival. The progression from early warning signs to heat stroke can happen within 30 minutes during very hot weather. This is particularly true for older adults whose temperature control systems may not function, as well as younger adults due to age-related body changes. At the first warning sign, immediately move to air conditioning. Begin cooling rules with wet towels on pulse points and start the hydration schedule with small, frequent water intake. Learn these signals today because they represent your only advance warning before heat-related illness becomes life-threatening and potentially permanent. This makes immediate recognition and response essential for your survival during very hot weather events. These 5 heat wave survival tips have helped thousands of older adults stay safe during dangerous heat exposure. They provide the same life-saving knowledge that emergency room doctors use to protect their own families during extreme weather events. You now possess critical information that can mean the difference between safety and emergency during the next heat wave. With simple strategies that require no special equipment or expensive preparations, small changes put in place today can provide immediate protection tomorrow. This transforms your approach to heat safety from reactive to proactive and potentially saves your life during the next extreme heat emergency. If this information could help keep you or someone you love safe this summer, please hit that like button and share this video with other older adults in your community who need these life-saving strategies. Have you experienced any of these heatwave dangers, or do you have additional cooling tips that have worked for you during very hot weather? Tell us in the comments below, because your experience could help save another life. And don't forget to subscribe for more essential health and safety information that could protect you and your loved ones during emergencies.